Time I will call to order the Hamilton County Council meeting for Wednesday, July 7th. Madam Auditor, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Amy Mossalomany.
Present.
Brad Beaver.
Here.
Sue Mackey. Here. Steve Schwartz.
Present.
Steve Nation.
Here.
Fred Glenn. Ken Alexander.
On virtual.
We have a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you. I will now ask for the invocation and pledge by Councilor Schwartz.
You'll all rise, bow your heads, please pray in your own way. Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get the reverb going.
May I have a read and approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on June 2nd?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, we do need to do a roll call vote for every vote this evening due to virtual attendance.
And Madam President, I'm just going to say last names, no disrespect intended. Mossalomany.
Aye.
Present.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. I need a read and approval of the minutes for the joint meeting on June 25th.
So moved. Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
And Madam President, I will say that Fred Glenn has joined the meeting.
Thank you.
Mossalomany.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we'll ask for any public comments. Seeing none, we'll move on to committee and officer reports. From my standpoint, I would like to wish Fred Glenn a happy birthday. Hope you're enjoying, Counselor.
Thank you.
Additionally, reminder that we do have budget hearings. Your budget books are in front of you. Those that are virtual, don't forget to pick those up. Budget hearings are on August 3rd and 4th. And then lastly, October 18th, final adoption is at 8:30 a.m. and we are required to be present in person, so there is no virtual option. And lastly, I would just like to thank Commissioner Dillinger for giving a great State of the County address last week and for all the participation of the counselors who were there. That is all I have. I will pass to Mr. Vice President.
I have nothing.
Highway?
We did not meet this month, but we have some items on the agenda that we'll discuss later.
Perfect, thank you. Finance?
No meeting.
Personnel?
No meeting, but we will discuss later in our agenda.
Is there anything under miscellaneous?
Yeah, let's just point out
We
what we
updated
had.
council on the audit, Madam President, that was taken in front of the Board of Commissioners, and it was approved. We will keep council updated. The committee will be getting together soon to bring together department heads that will be subject to that audit. And there'll be a kickoff within the next month or so. But like I said, council will be updated. I went in front of the Board of Commissioners last week, or I think it was Monday, and last week, and they approved it. So that's where we're at with that.
Thank you. And then, go ahead, Brad.
We had that meeting of the, what's the acronym for the federal money?
ARPA?
Huh?
ARPA?
ARPA. We had that first meeting. We're scheduled to have another meeting in about a month to come up with a form and a formula for passing out the federal money.
Thank you.
Just one item on your appointment to the Community Corrections Advisory Board. At our last meeting, we did discuss that within the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years, that we will be at full capacity at that facility. So it is on our agenda as we move forward. So just a little reminder to the rest of the council. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anything from you, Counselor Nation?
No, thank you.
Moving on to unfinished, I'm sorry, Ken, did you have anything? Okay, thank you. Unfinished business, is there anyone that we have in mind for the appointment for soil and water, or should we just leave it as is?
Amy, I stated last meeting that I would sit in until we find someone replacement, so we can take that off the agenda for future agendas until such time that someone is brought forward. I know that our new administrator is going to be here presenting here shortly, so I will just defer my time to him.
Thank you. And I will defer to Counselor Mackey regarding the council intern and the motion to pay $15 for retroactive. I would like, if Becca is here, if you wouldn't mind just coming up and introducing yourself.
As she comes up, I just want to introduce, or just give some background. Last month, we discussed and approved an unpaid internship because we did not know if we had monies appropriated. But we did some research. Dawn found out that we did have money for an intern. Our county council had one 2 years ago, so we brought Becca County on board.
I'm very grateful. I'm gonna keep this pretty short and sweet because I see that all the people behind me probably have some matters to discuss, but I'm very excited to be here. I really enjoyed about a month I've been working here, and I know Sue said earlier before I officially started, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna change your major. And I would just like to announce that I have not decided to change my major, and it's really because of all of you guys are just very inspiring, and any task that you think is kind of monotonous or just not as interesting is actually very interesting to me, and I'm very grateful to be here and go to all the events with you, so thank you.
We are very lucky to have you. May I have a motion to pay the $15 retroactive to June 14th?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Masalani,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
No tabled business. We'll move on to new business. May I have an approval of vendor claims? Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Masalani,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, David Bradway, the Conservation Administrator, is here to update us on Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
My name's Dave Bradway, obviously. I'm the new Conservation Administrator for the SWCD. I started in April of this year. I come to Hamilton County by way of Muncie, Indiana. My wife and I moved to Hamilton County in March of last year. After graduating from Ball State University with a degree in environmental management, I worked my way through positions at the Muncie Bureau of Water Quality, starting as a lab analyst and becoming a supervisor in charge of sampling and industrial surface water and stormwater monitoring. Prior to starting my position with the SWCD here, I was the environmental manager for a paper company in Hartford City, Indiana. I am also the president of a not-for-profit mountain bike advocacy group. For the SWCD, the first half of the year has been pretty busy. We have facilitated 19 soil tests and 23 well water tests for Hamilton County residents. Our staff has conducted 74 site visits, 1/3 of which were addressing invasive species. One highlight of our conservation programming was the first ever Invasive Species Awareness Week that was capped off with the launch of the first of several boot brush launches that was installed at Cool Creek Park. It was designed to reduce tracking of invasive plants and seeds out of natural areas in an effort to reduce their spread. The first phase of the Lake and River Enhancement Grant funded Stony Creek Stream Restoration Study is coming to a close. This affects residents near Greenfield Avenue and 37, as well as water quality up and downstream of the Stony Creek, of that area on Stony Creek. We have collected nearly all of the matching funds required for the grant, and the consulting firm is working on their final report. We'll begin scheduling meetings for August to look at the next phase of that project coming up. The end of May wrapped up our annual spring native plant and rain barrel sale. We sold 131 native plant kits and 125 rain barrels. 50 of those rain barrels were subsidized for Noblesville residents through a special partnership with Noblesville Stormwater Department. In total, the plant kits contained 6,500 native plants to be planted in our community, so that's pretty good. The last item, the build out of our grant-funded educational soil trailer is nearing completion. For those of you who may not know about it, this is a joint project between Hamilton, Boone, Clinton, and Madison County SWCDs, along with several other sponsors. It's an immersive learning tool that'll be available for school programs and fairs and ag days and other similar events. An artist is currently fabricating the interior to look like an underground trench. So you'll walk into the trailer and be surrounded by roots and burrows with animals and that type of thing, and learn about soil quality and water quality. And that's slated to be finished early in fall is what we're hoping for. We'll see when it, when it gets done. Lastly, we are gearing up for the 4-H fair. It's going to be in person this year, so they're excited about it. I've only been here for 2 months, so I'm getting excited as well. And then our fall tree sale and Rain on Main will begin at the end of this month.
Awesome.
I appreciate your
Thank you so
time.
much. Any questions? We appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, Resolution CC 07-07-2021-01, temporary interloan funds. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, grant appropriation 144 amendment, transfers and reductions. Items 1 through 7 can be combined. Is there a motion to combine for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion about combining? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. I need a motion to approve items D 1 through 7.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. May I have, any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. At this time, I will open the public hearing concerning additional appropriations. Item A, Fund 1000 County General is requesting $186,860. Item 1 is the clerk. The 144 amendment and the transfer of $24,408 can be combined. Is there a motion to combine those two items under the clerk?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Ken.
Is he
I
freezing?
think he's having a lag.
Gotta wake up.
Counselor Alexander?
That's
You think he's
nice.
frozen? He's frozen.
Madam Auditor, can we carry with a 6-0 or 6? Thank you. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the 144 and transfer of the combination rather?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Motion carries. Item 2, under the Commissioners, we can combine the 144 amendment, item A and B, the transfer 38,445. Is there a motion to combine A and B under item 2?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. May I have a roll call vote for the combo, please?
Yes, Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Is this on the risk management? What are we,
Yes. Yes.
huh? And is this gonna take place mid-year? Anybody know?
I gathered that.
Nobody's presenting. Oh, here comes
Well,
Shane.
let's, if we can motion to combine, and then we'll motion to approve for it. Is that
Suit
okay?
yourself.
Thank you.
so we were at, see, Sue, you said,
Aye.
okay, sorry about that. Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
He's back.
Is he back?
Okay. Motion carries. Now may I have a motion to approve A and B?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Time for discussion.
Sheena. Is this intent to start this pay increase mid-year?
It is.
Okay.
If you would give
That's my only
consideration to that,
question.
yes.
I'm not in favor of mid-year salary increases.
Are there other questions or discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
No,
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
No.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 2C, a reduction in the amount of $2,817,143. This is the essential workers. We had a higher amount, and we no longer need that appropriated. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3, council additional in the amount of $28,942. This is in regards to youth assistance insurance change. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4, buildings and grounds reduction in the amount of $46,188. May I have a motion, please?
Amy, that's actually
Oh, 100.
113,620.
Yes, sorry, that number. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami,
Aye.
Beaver,
Aye.
Mackey,
Aye.
Swartz,
Aye.
Nation,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5, ISS additional in the amount of $157,915.92. This is regarding the video equipment at the fairgrounds. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Is Chris still here? Come on up here, Chris. In a brief summary, what are we gonna get for $157,000?
This is really mostly audio, so it's to really redo the audio in the main hall at the 4-H grounds. And then the video piece is just their conference room that they use in the administrative area there, as well as back in the dining hall. This is the basis, though, for the larger future look of using more video at the 4-H grounds, whether it's video walls in that main hall or feeding video from those other buildings into that main hall. This is the basis for that, really, though. We can't go on to those bigger things without the audio being improved.
Okay, And was any of the work that we did through the COVID vaccination headquarters out there, was any of the work that was done at that time to support that helpful to our future ambitions out there?
Well, it improves the networking capabilities for that building, definitely. So there was one whole side of that building that really had no active networking on it, and all of that was put in place last year with the COVID funds. And so, you know, if we're holding events out there, or if we use that site as a disaster recovery location, we have much more networking capabilities now than we had before.
Okay. Good enough, that's all I wanted.
Any further discussion?
Chris, I have a question.
Sure.
Does this lock us into utilizing this system and this vendor and provider for the future AV needs out at the fairgrounds?
No, it's a standard product, so I think other vendors support that product. That vendor has done a lot of work in the county, here in the courthouse, at the sheriff's office. So they've been a good vendor to work with, but I don't think it locks us into them. It's a standard product that other people support as well.
Yeah, but from a product standpoint, is it a proprietary product?
No, no.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Item 6 is Sheriff 144 amendment. There are two. One is adding cert pay to 2 employees, and then the other is to pay above entry. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, Fund 1023, 2101, the Hamilton County Airport Authority is requesting $3,299.50. There is the additional, obviously, that I just mentioned as well, and a reduction of $22.98. It can be combined. This is regarding essential pay. Is there a motion to combine 1 and 2?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Motion carries.
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Thank you. Item C, Fund 1053, Hamilton County Solid Waste Management is requesting $35,524.50. You will see 2 items. One is an additional in the amount I just mentioned, and a reduction in the amount of $20,117. These can be combined, as it is essential worker pay related. May I have a motion to combine?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. May I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Second.
Moved and
Seconded.
seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Masalami?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Sorry, Beaver?
What? Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, Fund 1159, Health Fund requesting $31,530.15. This is a FEMA reimbursement. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item E, Fund 1168, Local Health Maintenance Fund Transfer in the amount of $10,900. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Masalami?
Aye.
Beaver?
Aye.
Mackey?
Aye.
Schwartz?
Aye.
Nation?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carries. Fund 1171, Major Bridge is requesting $800,000. May I have a motion to approve? And then I will defer to Steve Schwartz for an update.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Steve, please inform us of this request.
This is $800,000 to initiate the engineering that, it says here, obviously very beneficial to 146 in Hazeldale. Hopefully there's some major plans coming to fix this intersection.
Looks like this would be 45% of the plan stage and that there is opportunity to pursue outside funding.
Yeah, the Hazeldale on 146 has been identified by the Metropolitan Planning Organization as one of the most dangerous in the metropolitan area, the nine county area. So we do need to pay attention and see how we can make it safer before people get badly hurt or killed there.
Okay, so we're gonna use almost $1 million out of Major Bridge. And Major Bridge is a funding source for several other county projects. Is it wise to be spending this money out of there previous to the others? I'm just thinking off the top of my head, 146 in Allisonville, I think they're planning on using Major Bridge money for that. That's millions and millions. And I'm not sure, can we use Major Bridge for 37? No. Because those overpasses aren't considered bridges?
Brad, if you wouldn't mind coming up, do you mind?
All I'm saying is, we're 15 million in the hole, easy, on Highway 37, plus other projects. I know it's Brad's job to pick this out, but it's our job to fund these things. Do you want to spend your money on this now? Where am I wrong there, Brad?
The 146 in Ellisville Road, as we've known for a long time, will have to be a bonded or some other.
That's really not your decision.
Okay, well, you're going to have to come up with some funds to complete that project.
And how many millions would that be?
That would be approximately close to 20.
And you're going to spend 800,000 from our funding source on this project, knowing that we need that money for that project.
Correct, yes.
And this is the project, you gave a list of projects too, where you want to bring them all out of Major Bridge, and at the same time proposing that you wanted council to raise the tax rate to the maximum to fund this project and also Highway 37, is that correct?
No, not Highway 37.
Okay, Highway 37 wasn't, Highway 37 is not in that list of projects that were going to be partially funded from taking the tax rate of Major Bridge to the maximum.
I thought that was what I had read.
No. State Road 37 is not a Major Bridge funded project. Going to the maximum rate on Major Bridge would allow you to fund 146 in Hazeldale and 146 in Cary.
Sue, Mackie, did you send out an email that listed?
It was after a discussion after the commissioners meeting about the things that could be pulled through the the commissioners and the highway meeting, the joint meeting. All right, so it was, if 37 is not part of that, we still have to discuss how, or figure out how we're going to pay for 37 and then these other projects through the Major Bridge if we increase that tax to pay the bond, any bonding we might do for those projects. Correct. So we do have some decisions
all of that needs to be considered when you bring 800,000. I support this project at 146 in Hazeldale, but it's like Brad said, it's our job to figure out these funding sources, and has everything else been explored, especially when we're considering raising the people's tax rate to a maximum when that might not be necessary. So that's just what I'm thinking about when I look at $800,000, and I would like to hear from the other highway committee member, Ken Alexander, your thoughts on this, if you discussed this in your meetings.
Well, we were passed out now the importance of this intersection as well as the Gray Road Cherry as being three of the intersections and on 146. Sorry.
Unfortunately, we can't hear you consistently. It keeps breaking up.
I'm not opposed to this project. What I'm saying to you, and this is the way, for our new members, this is the way this works. Brad's job is to build roads and bridges, so he does whatever the commissioners instruct him to do, build roads and bridges. It is our responsibility to set the tax rate, okay? So we say, well, we can do all this stuff if you just raise taxes. Well, if you raise that tax, it has an impact on the levy all the way down the line. So think before you commit close to $1 million out of a fund that there are other projects that we are generally thinking about. We haven't committed to 146 in Allisonville. Okay, we've been throwing out some numbers. There's nothing, we haven't signed any papers that commits us to that, but generally thinking we're committed to it. The major part of that's coming out of Major Bridge. Yeah, you can bond it, and one way to bond it is bond it against Major Bridge funds. All this is a complicated financial mechanism that, my opinion, may not be Brad Davis's opinion, may not be the county commissioner's opinion, and how we ought to get from here to there. $1 million is $1 million when you got big projects coming down the road. Just saying, consider it. It's not automatic.
In the statement, within the justification, it says that there's an opportunity to pursue other outside funding and having some work done and some skin in the game would be very beneficial. So when you think about outside funding, what are you referencing, and do you have any idea of what?
We've had some discussions about trying to get some congressional funding for not only this location, but the other locations along 146th Street. That's the major one that comes to mind. And usually when those come about, you need to have some work already done, particularly into the environmental stage, in order to show commitment for one, show that you have a much better idea of the estimate and the project scope as number two. So it always helps a lot if you go to try to get funding to say, we've already started, we're committed, we want to do this, we need some extra funding to complete it.
I would ask the council, is this something that should be ran through the finance committee since it is a large expenditure? Like I said, I support the project. I just want to make sure that we fund it properly and have Mike Reuter at least take a look at it. I mean, that's my thought.
I believe we're too early for that. We haven't got financial commitments on dollar numbers on if we rank 146 in Allisonville sooner than 146 in Hazeldale. We don't have a firm number to try to put in the mix to try to figure out how we're going to pay for everything. Do we? Brad Davis?
I think we have a good idea. In 146 in Allisonville, if you recall, we do have a rather large amount of federal funding involved in that project, $9.5 million worth of federal funds. So we do have funding. We did go after it. We were lucky. It was a very large award through the MPO. That project is moving toward construction in 23. As we mentioned to you before, the match for that will be needed about that time. So we do have a lot of money at stake in that particular project. We have projected through our major bridge spreadsheet that we do. We projected the ability to pay for that and to make the debt service.
And I don't mean to be disrespectful, that's your projection, right? That's not county council's projection. You're counting on the fact that we're going to raise that rate to the maximum amount.
We could probably do 146 in Allisonville without raising the rate, but it would jeopardize some of our other normal program projects down the road.
I would say this, Fred, getting back to what you said, how about if you put on one piece of paper what you think the total cost, what the county's cost, what we're going to have, and generally when we're going to have it on 146 in Allisonville. We'll have a finance committee meeting and start the process of exactly how much we're gonna have to have in what year. What do you think about that, Fred?
I would entertain that. And like I said, I support this project, but we need to do our due diligence. This isn't a small amount of money right here.
We're getting millions committed.
Without,
I think we all here agree that that going down these roads, no pun intended, is important for us to do, because that's, aside from public safety, roads and infrastructure is the bedrock of government, county government. So, and with these intersections along 146 that are so dangerous, we have to do something. So I think, but we have to be able to afford it. And we need to look at that, and in mind of what's going on in Washington, God bless them and the work they're doing, but there could be an infrastructure program coming out, and if we have some engineering done, we have a better chance of getting funding dollars quicker. So I think we need to do this, we should look at it, but we need to figure out how we're gonna pay for it. Should we table this until next meeting?
Is that a motion? Because if it is, I'll second that.
Is this, if we table this, what does this do to you and your work, Mr. Davis?
It just delays us a bit. You know, the 800,000, we know we can afford to do that through Major Bridge now without the need for you to actually increase the rate. It would take away from something else if you weren't going to bond 146 Nelsonville. But, you know, it's a starting point. We need to get started. We've studied this since 2017. It's been through an MPO-funded study. It's been through a subsequent safety review study. It's been through several. We're to the point now where we know what the solution is. We know what we want to do. We need to get started, and that's the starting point was tonight's $800,000.
The starting point, though, I mean, we have a job to do. So, I mean, you know, and I, like I said, I support this project, and if that's the way to fund it, I will end up voting for it. But that doesn't mean that we don't do our jobs.
Brad, part of this is also doing the engineering work to understand what the different prices of the different solutions are, correct?
No, I think we know what the solution is. We have a very rough estimate. It's not refined. This will help refine that estimate.
Is this a priority project? You mentioned that others would probably fall by the wayside if we didn't bond this. Is this a priority project where you would put those ahead of those other projects?
I'd have to look at those closer. The other projects I'm talking about are other major bridges in the county that require routine maintenance and ongoing attention with rehabs and those kind of things. And we may not have the cash flow at a future time if we start using it for this.
Do you want to plan a new one, or do you want to fix the ones you already got?
I want to do both.
Yeah, there you go. That's the right answer. I'm not against your project, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but they operate on the plan that this money is forthcoming. That's not their prerogative to do that. You can plan it if you want to. We're the appropriating body. We set the tax rate. You will spend whatever money is available. So, and to say, oh, it's super dangerous. Yeah, sure it is, but you can only do with what you got to do with. And truthfully, the 37 project is going to burn up our mad money, all this stuff that we've been doing, this project, that project, $500,000. We're going to pay that bill shortly, and it's sucking up all the mad money.
any comments from you gentlemen?
I have no more.
I will call for a roll call vote.
I thought we did a motion to table it.
What, there was not a motion to table. She's suggesting.
I'll make a
what we
motion.
do.
I'll make a
So at this
motion
point,
to
we have
table it. What'd you say?
We do have a motion on the table currently. So,
A motion to table supersedes.
right, so if that's what you're doing, then Fred, please make your motion.
I'll make a motion to table and at least look at it in Finance Committee.
There's nothing to look at.
Is there a second to table? Okay, fails. So now we'll go back to the original motion.
To approve.
To approve the 800,000. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Masalamani.
Aye.
Beaver.
No.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
He's frozen.
Aye.
Oh, I just heard aye.
Yeah.
I thought that was static.
Motion carries.
Can you put that short sheet together for me sometime?
Yeah, I think we went over that once before, be glad to do it again, though.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, if we're just, I mean, if that's the process, by the way, from here on out, where you just throw something on the agenda that's almost $1 million and expect us to vote for that, I mean, I don't know where we're going. We couldn't explore it through finance. That's very disappointing, I would say. And like I said, I support the project, but to not actually explore that and do our due diligence with 800,000 taxpayer money is very disappointing.
Anything else for Brad? Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome, thank you.
Item G, Fund 1176, Motor Vehicle Highway, requesting $70,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Sorry, Mackey.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. Fund 1222, Public Safety Communications, is requesting $85,000. We can combine items 1 and 2. This was an approved position in May as the project manager and then the lead network. This person was a lead network who used to work here. So may I have a motion to combine 1 and 2?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Masalami.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item I, Fund 1235, lit, dedicated to PSAP, requesting $2,050,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have one question before we vote.
Sure.
Is that, if you can stay there, is that for the Fishers thing?
I'm sorry, that part's for the Fishers part of it. The other part of it is we have some capital replacements that we have to make with our recording system.
Okay.
Currently, we have, I think, 3 total different recording systems. We have a backup system that's one vendor, and one at one site that's a different
Okay, so
vendor.
part
We're
of
trying
it
to get it
is.
all together, yeah.
Is the Fishers thing operational?
It is operational from the dispatch standpoint. We were able to secure funding during COVID with some of the government's money. The one thing we're working on now is finalizing the structure itself. Last year, we turned back in $300,000. That was for this year's budget for that building. Part of this is going towards that. My goal this year is to make substantial headway on that building by the end of the year,
Headway as to,
having it done. Yeah. I won't use a term that I was using in all my meetings.
Okay.
I've got stuff I want to get done this year,
Okay.
and that's on my priority list.
so from a dispatch standpoint, you could use it if you had to?
Yeah, we used it all through COVID. We actually split the crews up, and that's how we were doing some of our social
Okay,
distancing.
good enough, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. Fund 4905, digital ortho photography, is requesting $15,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Masalami.
Aye.
Beaver.
Aye.
Mackey.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Nation.
Aye.
Glenn.
Aye.
Alexander.
Aye.
Motion carries. I will now close the public hearing and move on to announcements. Sheriff.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Council attorney. I don't believe.
Nothing from council attorney.
Thank you. And Madam Auditor.
No, I'd just like to report that we have reimbursed roughly $600,000 to our ERP. So,
Awesome.
Reimbursed to who?
for the ERP rental assistance program.
Okay.
Okay.
So some money is trickling out.
And if that is all, we're adjourned. Thank you.